year, we unraveled the uniqueness within each one of us, and we had the chance of meeting Sal, and were so inspired by the way that she successfully discovered and used her irreplaceable qualities. Now we move to a different phase, a different story of challenges. I've actually received a letter from Karen in Lahu, Cebu. And Karen writes, "Hi Katy, I'm Karen, a junior communications major from one of the major universities here in Cebu. I'm ordinary, no more, no less. I'm not remarkable in any way, although there is one thing that makes me noticeable. That is, my face has been covered with a lot of pimples ever since my puberty years. I take care of my skin well and do everything to resolve this. But my mum says it's like in our genes or something. I don't really care of if others don't consider me as beautiful. What I'm concerned about is how my insecurity affects my participation in school activities. In my course, there are a lot of opportunities to express oneself, such as writing, but mostly in broadcasting, which is supposed to give me an edge, since I consider myself talented in public speaking. In television production activities, I end up assisting behind the scenes, such as writing or technical work, although I know very little about those, resulting in poor outputs. I don't have the courage to take up on parts for hosts or anchors because I believe my classmates with flawless skin and faces are most suited for the roles. I do have friends who encourage me that my looks does not matter, and they have constantly reminded me to value myself. But I just can't bring myself to believe in their encouragement. Please shine light on my dilemma. Sincerely, Karen." First of all, Karen, I would really like to encourage you for having the courage to actually send us this letter. It's not easy having courage to share on TV with many viewers a challenge. But I just really want to encourage you that many of us have challenges, and I want to encourage you by sharing a challenge I've had, and then from actually reviewing your letter, giving you some keys on how you can actually move forward to find fulfillment in your life. But basically, during high school, for sure, I didn't have a lot of pimples, but I know this sounds funny, but I was very self-conscious about my bust because I was quite skinny at high school, but I had really quite a big bust, and so I felt like, people didn't really take me seriously, and that would be something that hinders me from really finding fulfillment in my life, and that it just made people think that I'm, like just a Barbie doll, just someone that wants to have fun 24/7. And sure, I like to have fun sometimes, but I also have a side where I like to, be taken seriously also. And so what I would like to encourage you with from this letter is that even though you have, pimples, I don't want you to see that as something that really hinders you from focusing on what you do have. So the number one thing I would say to you is, what benefit can you see in your challenge of the pimples? The first benefit I would encourage you to see, Karen, is that yes, pimples may be annoying if, when you're putting makeups on and things like that, but I want to encourage you in 10 years' time, in 20 years' time, when other people's skin is getting dry and maybe wrinkles, you can be very thankful for the fact that your skin is, staying moist and beautiful and shiny. So in fact, there's a lot of benefits for having oily skin. Number two, I would recommend that you find a moisturizer that's an oil-free moisturizer, and maybe use a tea tree oil that will help, lessen those pimples. And I'd want to encourage you that, look, some of the most talented people in media today, There's many people I could name, you know, a lot of famous people we know that have physical flaws, what they would call a physical flaw, like pimples or are overweight, yet they are actually very confident in their image and they're on TV. So I don't want you to see the pimples as something that would hinder you if you want to do a hosting job. And what I would encourage you to do is, maybe if you really have a desire to be a host, but you're feeling insecure because of the pimples, I would encourage you to maybe, get some lessons in public speaking. Maybe have some coaching by someone who's already a host. Go along with them to when they have their filming. I would encourage you to maybe practice some public speaking, practice in front of some small groups, or maybe actually, trying out for some roles on camera if that is your real passion. And, if you don't get the role the first time, then actually keep persisting. Keep persisting. And another thing to remember is, you were mentioning that your friend's encouragement isn't making you feel better. Maybe that is because for transformation to happen, it has to start from within us, because other people can see gifts, but if we don't recognize it in ourselves, then we're not going to be transformed and satisfied in your lives. So I would encourage you to really have a look at yourself and ask yourself, what are your gifts? And your gifts flow out of what you enjoy doing, what you love doing, and what comes naturally to you. Focus on that and focus on building those areas, and then you'll find the confidence to move beyond the pimples to do what you're passionate about with the speaking and the other areas mentioned in your letter. And you can email us anytime if you would like to communicate further about this. Before we end, I'd like to impart to you a story of another irreplaceable woman who found her inner confidence, which made her Katy Borromeo today, Z Lifestyle's Managing Editor. We discovered that a good mix of passion, focus and perseverance are what molded her into being irreplaceable. For you, what do you think has been some of the real keys to you finding true fulfillment?
I think, what it boils down to for me is hard work and perseverance. What I lack in educational background and experience, I always make up for hard work and like 1,000 extra miles for the job. I guess that's it. And then I guess once you get into that mindset of being motivated and being driven, it's hard to shut that off. So then you're going in the different jobs or work areas that you go into. I guess you have that mindset, and then I guess that's it. You just go with that.
So you've obviously grown up being quite a confident person then. Have you? Yeah.
I wouldn't say that really, because as you can see, I'm dark skinned, and here in the Philippines, it's not really growing up, it's not the best thing to be. It's usually a negative thing. It's not like in the West where
we want to be dark.
Yes, exactly.
I want to be dark like you, right? It looks so good. I'm trying to work on my tan to get like you.
But then growing up, we didn't have that mentality. We had that like fair is beautiful mentality. So I guess I felt like I had to fight through my way through a lot of things, and I felt like I had to bank on my personality or humor or wit more than looks growing up. So I think it worked out well for me, I guess.
Yeah. We don't have to pursue happiness, right? Happiness pursues us.
That's true.
As a byproduct.
I totally agree. I feel like it's a personal thing, it's a personal journey, and I guess you have to do what feels right for yourself. And then I guess you don't have to be larger than life to be great. I think in your own little ways, in your own little corners of the world, you can, brighten up anyone's day, and try to make a positive impact, wherever you are or whatever you do.
A rewarding experience has transpired today as we've discovered and stood up to our irreplaceable gift. I hope to inspire and empower you with insights that will hopefully open some doors to a transformed and satisfied you. Keep in mind that if we don't be who we are designed to be, the whole planet misses out on what only we can contribute, because we are irreplaceable. If you would like to know more about what makes you unique and why that is exactly what makes you stand out, you can find all this discussed in my book, Irreplaceable, which you can find on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. I am always ready to hear your story. Feel free to email me at irreplacableutv@gmail.com or have a free-flowing conversation with me on Facebook and Twitter. Finally, I would love to thank the Radisson Blu Hotel for hosting us here today. It is such an exquisite hotel in the heart of Cebu City. Salamat! Our next episode is all about enhancing our strengths and minimizing our weaknesses, so be sure to stop by. This has been a wonderful time. I'm Coach Katy, and I look forward to an irreplaceable you. Daghang salamat!